behind your box.
Next up on the track, our second and final heat, the multi-cap 100 meters.
On lane 2, running for Argentina, Damian Moreta. On lane 3, representing Spain, Jorge Davila. On lane 4, representing Germany, Maximilian Klut. Lane 5, also running for Germany, Leo Neugebauer. Lane 6, representing Lithuania, Tomas Sabasinskas. Lane 7, running for France, Florian Fourret. And on lane 8, completing the lineup in the fastest personal best in the second heat for France, Steven Fauvel-Clinch. That's your second and final heat in the decathlon 100 meters.
On your mark. Set.
Fauvel-Clinch on lane 8 for France, taking the early lead, and it's the runaway victory for the Frenchman in the second heat of the boys decathlon. 10.82 unofficially. A huge personal best, 7:11 for the first time, taken by Fauvel-Clinch for France, taking the second heat of the boys decathlon 100. Doing plus 1.2 meters per second, so it's a legit time. 10.82 provisionally. Steven Fauvel-Clinch for France.
ここから TGFB 原油車が来たChili maganda kutoka Jamhuri ya Ufaransa wametimuka muda wa sekunde 10.82.
Live results are now on the scoreboard at the south end of the stadium. Fauvel-Clinch is winning 10.82, a new personal best confirmation for the Frenchman. Argentina's Damian Moreta in second, with Florian Fourret of France taking third place in the second heat of the boys decathlon 100.
Ushindi ufunza ambayo kwenda muda wake bora wa sekunde 10.82.
Still down here short, Fauvel is our press for the athletes. The next event is at 10:25. That will be the long jump, the second of the events this morning for them, followed by the third one. 11:40 is the starting time for the decathlon shot put.
boys 100 meters. Going on to the semifinals to be held tonight at 5 p.m. are the first 4 in each heat and the next 4 fastest times. Running on lane 5, representing South Africa, Mulanga. Running on lane 7, representing the Bahamas, Joel Johnson.
On your marks. Set.
First, South Africa is the clear leader in this heat, qualified for the boys 100. Johnson and Su of China, the first 4 to move on to the semifinal tonight at 5 p.m. in the boys 100 meters. Unofficial winning time is 10.48 seconds into a headwind of -1.3.
Kumbuka mshindi wa kwanza katika sekunde 10.48. Hiyo ni official time in 100 meters.
Live results are now up on the scoreboard. Confirmation of Mulanga of South Africa winning in 10.48, and of Brazil's Dos Santos 10.73, Joel Johnson and Su of China taking the remaining 2 automatic qualifying places, moving on to the semifinal tonight.
Kama vile umesikiza kutoka kwa mwenzangu, bila maambukiza kwenye kulia kama kwa lugha ya Kiingereza, ni kwamba hili ilikuwa ni shindano la kwanza la mbio za mita 100 vijana chini ya miaka 18.
Like the time
fastest times. That's heat 2 of 5 for the boys, 100 meters.
On your marks. Set.
Vanessa Lesotho and Brandel of Germany. Brandel pulling away Ruben of Ukraine, and Brandel is the winner. 10.55, provisional winning time. With a tail of 0.6 meters per second. So it's Luis Brandel and Vasil Baku taking first and second of the 4 automatic qualifying places for tonight's semifinal.
Abuka mshindi wa jina hili tariki ya pili wanariadha kutoka
third heat, running on lane 4, representing Ukraine, Alexander Savenko. On lane 5, with the third fastest time among the entrants, representing South Africa, Chenolo Lemao. And on lane 7, representing the People's Republic of China, Yonglian Huang. That's your lineup for heat 3 of 5 for the boys, 100 meters, round 1.
On your marks. Set.
Lamau of South Africa and Savenko of Ukraine also going up for blonde of the People's Republic of China. It's Lamau of South Africa with Nichols of Germany, Savenko of Ukraine, and Yonglian Huang of the People's Republic of China going through automatically. Provisional winning time of 10.54 seconds for Lamau into a head of 0.4 meters per second.
Wakikumbuka mshindi wa mashindano hili la 2023 ni mwanariadha kutoka Afrika Kusini waliweza kuzunguka sekunde 10 mita 54. Hiyo ni awamu ya pili na hii awamu ya tatu.
Live results are now up on the scoreboard with Lamau's win of 10.54 seconds ahead of a new personal best for Germany's Nichols of 10.68. Ukraine's Alexander Savenko and Yonglian Huang
Of the People's Republic of China, taking the remaining 2 automatic qualifying positions, going through to tonight's semi-final.
Heat. No runner in lane 1, Amubu, so it's Kumar in 2, Bekmurodov in 3, Savenko in 4, Lamau in 5, Kosovar in 6 of Germany, Huang of China in 7, and Darlin in lane 8, nearest the picture. Heat 3, boys 100 metres. Join them in the semi-finals.
So we now have 12 men through to the semi-finals of the
That's heat 4 of 5 for the boys, 100 meters, round 1.
On your marks. Set.
Algeria's Zekraoui is your early leader. Watch out for Curry of the Bahamas. Zekraoui, Curry. Saudi Arabia's Marzouk taking 3rd place. Moving on to the semi-final. Provisional winning time for Zekraoui, 10.59 into a headwind of 0.6 meters per second.
Hiyo ilikuwa ni hiti ya tatu. Mwanariadha kutoka Algeria yameibuka mshindi na muda wake ni wa sekunde 10.95.
Live results are now up on the scoreboard at the south end of the stadium. Zekraoui 10.59, a new personal best for the Algerian, improving nearly a tenth ahead of Adrian Curry of the Bahamas, Saudi Arabia's Abdelahmed Marzouk, and Denmark's Tobias Larsen with a new personal best of 10.73 going on to tonight's semi-final. That's the fifth and final heat for round one of the boys 100 meters.
On your marks. Set.
Kumbuka shindano hilo kumekuwa na Kenya ambayo imechukua nafasi ya tatu. Nakumbuka muda ambao uliwekwa kwanza ni sekunde 6.0.
My results are now up on the scoreboard. Confirmation of Perry Wilson's win 10.60. The new personal best for Nelson Fougier for the Commonwealth of Dominica. Second, 10.74. Kenya's Elijah Mokwana Matthew. The automatic qualifier for tonight's semi-final 10.78. Personal best. And Singapore's Joshua Wei Chua also went through 10.94 seconds. Now for the scoreboard, tonight's qualifiers for the semi-final will be held tonight at 5 p.m. 1700 hours. We'll also have a final later on tonight. So please stay tuned for all the qualifiers of the semi-final of the boys 100 meters.
You can't stop the tears from falling down.
Cross in the meantime in Group B, sailed to 6 meter 89. Jump on his first attempt as new personal best for Latvia. Up next is Georgios Kamaris of Cyprus.
Tengah sampai 5. Buka nyuma.
Personal best for Leo Neugebauer of Germany, the first athlete to go over 7 meters, 7:04 for the German in Group A of the decathlon long jump. He's your leader, coming close to the end of round 1. With only one athlete, Spain's Jorge Davila, remaining to jump on his first attempt.
Hey, guy, TV. Hey, guys.
Davila sails out to 6 meters 48 on his opening jump, which means round 1 for Group A is now over. Neugebauer with 7:04 ahead of Stephen Foubertlich of France, 6:99 and 6:67 for Thomas Samashinskas of Lithuania. Starting round 2 is Florian Fourré of France. Foul for Fourré on his second attempt. Asking for your support, Fayati in Group B. This is his first jump in the decathlon. Lex Dummett of Luxembourg will be happy to get on the board. He had a foul on his first attempt, the second one
Okay, remove the phone. Ah ja, wollte ich angucken.
Next event on the infield is the girls' discus throw qualification. The automatic qualifying mark of 48 meters is marked by the yellow line across the field. There are 16 athletes. Either if you reach the 48 meters or the world best performances will advance to the final to be held Friday at 6:25 p.m. The scoreboard. Round 2 is completed for the decathlon boys long jump group A. And starting round 3 is Francis Florian Fouret. He's asking for your support. Currently with 6 meters 27. Discus throw qualification is Celinda Morales of Cuba. She has the longest throw in the world among the entrants this year with 53 meters 21. Morales sails into the final with a comfortable launch over the 48-meter mark. You see the yellow line across the sector. It indicates the automatic qualifying mark. And Morales is well clear of that. Also clear of 50 meters as well. this first heat representing Ethiopia, Abebe Desasa. And with the fastest time in the field this season, 3 minutes 44 seconds, your home favorite of Kenya, Dominic Kipkemboy. Heat 1 of 2 for the boys, round 1 of 1500 meters.
Basi shindano la mbio za mita 1.5 kwa vijana chini ya miaka 18. Tukiwa kwanza leo Uganda
Results are now up on the scoreboard for the second and final heat of the boys 1500 meters round one. Confirmation of George Maitame boys tactical victory, 3 minutes 55 seconds flat ahead of Ethiopia's Valette Mekkonen, Daniel Kiprotogimnada and Anastasai of Morocco, all going through on the 4 automatic qualifying positions for the final to be held on Friday evening.
bronze for the new person, that's the 7.38, and Lucia of Germany, 7.25. And also Kozlakov of Latvia, 6.99 meters, winning rubies. So these are the overall results of the decathlon long jump.
She's never afraid. Just picture everybody naked. She really doesn't like to wait. Not really into hesitation. Pulls me in enough to keep me guessing. Oh, maybe I should stop and start confessing.
We have a third qualifier in the girls' discus throw this morning. Lucia of Germany, 51 meters, 33 feet long this morning. Universal best for German. She is automatically through to the final of the girls' discus. This is Eva Orszanska of Poland with her second round attempt. Improvement for Orszanska of Poland, is shy of the 48-meter mark. Currently for fifth place. Remember, 3 athletes have already qualified. So Orszanska goes into fifth, 44.68, just behind Germany's Ruben. 48-meter mark.
Meters and 30 centimeters for 1,000 of Cuba. She is the fourth automatic qualifier for the final on Friday evening. Ruben for Nichols, Germany, 42 meters 9'3" on her second attempt. Up next is Rana Ahmed of Egypt.
Tafadhali, tafadhali, tafadhali. Ndugu wapenzi, tafadhali tutulie, tutulie, tutulie. Ili wanatakiwa tuweze kusikia. Tafadhali, naomba tafadhali. Tutulie tafadhali.
Silence before the start. representing Kenya, Mary Mora. And on the inside, on lane 2, she has the fastest time in the heat, representing Brazil, Giovanna Rosalia dos Santos. That's heat 4, round 1, looks 400.
Just try and maybe hold a little bit back. You can see how tired she looks there, and that is not a good situation really after an opening round heat. I mean, I hope she can maintain it for the home crowd's sake, but she went off. You'll see in the back straight she carves out a huge lead, but and there she is way out in front, but Dos Santos inside her came through strongly in the last 200 meters, but the pair of them look pretty happy at the end with their day's work as they came through the line virtually together. But I just wonder how much Mora might have emptied the tank with that opening run.
Yes. Rallied to take victory. Disappointing performance for the Bahamian Windira Moss. She trailed in there in 6th position in 57.68, but there's our winner. She's feeling it. Result of Heat 2, girls 400 metres, a Kenyan victory for Mary Mora in a massive new personal best of 54.07 ahead of Brazil's Dos Santos. Sekulic of Serbia is the 3rd place finisher and automatic qualifier, also with a personal best time.
Plenty of colour around the stadium as it fills up on this opening day of the historic and final 2017 IAAF Under-18 World Championships. School kids enjoying the sunshine, enjoying a day off school, I'm sure, and enjoying top quality athletics from kids who aren't that much older than they are. They could easily be schoolmates with so many of these competitors. The competitors who are taking part in Heat 3 of round 1 of the girls 400 metres are out on the track now, going through their final preparations. We're looking at Milagros Duran of Dominica. Well, those guys have been dancing and banging their drums throughout the proceedings today. London, here we come. We've seen that before. Here's the start list then for the third heat of 4 in the girls 400 metres opening round. Look out for Shekinah Foot. She is an outstanding athlete from Jamaica. 53.69 seconds is her personal best. That's over a tenth better than anyone else in that field. Knowledge Omova of Nigeria is the second fastest with a time of 54.92 seconds, but hasn't run anywhere near that so far this season. There is Shekinah Foot in lane 8. Barring major technical problems or injuries, she should win this heat and is probably the overall favourite in the event itself. In lane 5, there is Liang of China. Personal best this season of 55.51 seconds, representing the emerging nation of China in terms of sprinting and short distance events. There is no competitor in lane 3. And that's Omovo, who doesn't start, so that might make Foot's qualification even more straightforward. Linda Mamoun is the athlete in lane 2, so we're one girl short in this 400 metres heat 3 of round 1. The competitor to look out for is in lane 8 in the world famous yellow and black of Jamaica, Shekinah Foot. So just 6 in this one, 7 rather I should say, with one just out of the picture there. Underway in the heat. Shekinah Foot gets off very strongly in lane 8. Also going well in lane 4 is Duran of Dominica, but Foot is going to try and dictate this one from the off, and she's made a very good start as they reach the 200 metres mark. The Dominican athlete is still doing well also, but this looks a confident run by Shekinah Foot. Duran is moving up as well, and Shekinah Foot is being reeled in at the moment, but looking to maintain her pace as they go into the final 100 metres. And it's these two who are going to take the first 2 places. And it's the Dominican Duran who wins, and Foot just behind her, 55.07 seconds. It was a cautious run by Shekinah Foot in the first heat for her in this 400 metres. And Duran will be very pleased with the way that she ran, with that distinctive headband. And the Dominican is celebrating victory, still 16 years old. And Foot, who's 15 and doesn't turn 16 until later this month, was in second place in that race. Confirmation 55.05 it's been rounded down to. Milagros Duran makes a great start.
Yeah, victory for the Dominican Republic athlete in a race which featured one of the big favourites. Watch it from the start, running in the outside, lane 8, Shekinah Foot. Difficult because, of course, you're never going to see the rest of the field. She will have known that on paper she would have to run a composed and confident race, and that would be enough. I think we'll see that she really just takes her foot off the gas in the last 100 metres or so. I think by this stage, even though she's run from the outside, she's pretty sure that she's in a comfortable position, because she certainly did push hard in the first 200 metres. But you can see these two, they're well clear of the rest of the group, and it's was the athlete in lane 7, Skrob of Romania, who came through for third.
There's the confirmation of it. Qualifications for Milagros Duran, Shakena Foot and Maria Skrob of Romania. The others will have to wait and see whether their positions may be good enough, but Shakena Foot cautious, but through. That's the main thing. Duran looked impressive.
Temperature has steadily risen through the morning. It's very pleasant now out there in the sunshine, and many of the athletes seeking some shade. It's good to see such a healthy attendance on this first morning session of these World Under-18 Championships. We've travelled from Bydgoszcz to here in the 10 editions. And of course, 2 years ago, an excellent event in Colombia, in Cali 2 years ago. Three heats down then in the girls' 400 metres. One more to come. Girls 400 metres, first round, heat 4 of 4. Barbara Malakova of the Czech Republic, one of the standout performers in lane 3. Also look out for Laura Kaufmann of Germany. She's performed well at under 20 level already this year. Personal best achieved this season in 55.01. Move through past the rest of the field, includes athletes from Venezuela and I was going to say Nigeria, but that doesn't appear to be the case. We have 2 non-starters indeed in this group. But somebody who's definitely on the start line, Barbara Malakova of the Czech Republic, I should say, who is the quickest on paper, 54.03. And on the inside there'll be Shostak of Ukraine. So just confirmation, we have 2 non-starters from the Congo and Nigeria. That leaves 5 athletes to compete in this 4th and final heat of the girls' 400 metres. So it's from the inside Shostak, then Malakova. Lane 4 is Jebet of Kenya. Plenty of support for her. There she is. Montenegro in lane 6, Kaufmann in lane 7. They're away. Saw Jebet get out of the blocks there. A couple of gaps in this field, so it'll be quite difficult to establish who might be making the early running, but you can see Montenegro of Venezuela has gone out well, running down that back straight to the left of the picture, just alongside Laura Kaufmann of Germany. Jebet holding up well, the head just slightly cricked back, that style of hers there, running in the centre of the picture, the Kenyan, and actually coming round the bend and producing a good performance here. Inside her though, watch out for Malakova. This is a good race. Remember, it's the first 3 in each heat or qualify, and it's Malakova and Jebet bringing them down the home straight. Jebet's having to work really hard. Malakova looks more comfortable outside them. Kaufmann has also come through, but it's Malakova who takes it. It's the Kenyan in second, and it is Kaufmann of Germany who completes the automatic qualifiers by finishing 3rd in that 4th and final heat of the girls' 400 metres. Malakova, though, with a very composed and comfortable run. It didn't need to be terribly quick in the end. It was 55.58 from Barbara Malakova, and it's victory for the Czech Republic athlete in the 4th heat.
Yeah, she was very much the front runner. Her personal best of 54.03 seconds, way better than anyone else in the field. Interesting to see Sharon Jebet roared on by the Kenyan crowd. She's not so much of a stylist. You can see her there in the lane 4 as she gets up. She tilts the head back. The arms are very uneven and jagged. It's not a fluid motion, which you can see being displayed just behind her by Malikova, who ran the race that she wanted to run, really. Jebet went off pretty fast. You can see that style. It looks a little awkward, but it gets the job done. And this was the moment when Malikova felt that it was time to just put her foot down on the gas a little bit, not too much. We talked about pacing races sensibly. I think that certainly Malikova has done that here, and the Czech athlete was easing up over the line, whereas Jebet looked a little more laboured. Good run by Kaufmann as well for Germany on the near side. So those three are all automatically through.
Confirmation of the results in the 4th heat of the girls' 400 metres. Victory for the Czech Republic's Barbara Malikova ahead of Kenya's Sharon Jebet. New personal best time for her. Laura Kaufmann of Germany, the 3rd automatic qualifier. After 4 heats, this is the summary. Mary Mora had the Kenyans on their feet with that lifetime best 54.07. Everyone on this page qualifies, including Shakina Foot and Georgieva of Bulgaria. And Mohebi also come through as the other qualifiers, along with Amsalu of Ethiopia. Finished outside the 3, but qualified by basis of their time. So, full summary there of the girls' 400 metres. Anthony Cox will be among those next on the track. We move from 400 metres girls to 400 metres boys. 5 heats, concluding the track action on this first morning of these World Under-18 Championships at Kasarani here in Nairobi. Field includes Bahamians, a Sri Lankan, Bangladeshi as well, as you can see there, number 133, Ryan. Back on the track for the first round of the boys' 400 metres. Some of the best marks over the years at this level. And confirmation of the qualification. Automatic qualifiers will be the first 4 in each heat. The next 4 fastest will go through to the semi-finals. Here's the lineup for the boys' 400 metres, heat 1 of 5. Jamaica's Anthony Cox will go on the inside in lane 1. He'll have the rest of the field in his sights from the off. Take a little glide across this new track through towards lane 3, and we'll just settle for a moment on the Slovakian Gregor Grahovac. Sub 48-second runner. You're really in business at this age group if you can break 46 seconds, as has been done this year. This young man is right on that border. Anthony Cox of Jamaica, 47.05. Likes of Usain Bolt have run 45.35 at this age level. What an inspiration for a whole generation and generations to come, I'm sure, of Jamaican athletes. A shot of the Bahamian, that's Corey Sherrod. He'll go in lane 4. So it's Cox on the inside, Patiran in lane 2, Gravach in 3, Sherrod 4, Zhu 5, Ramandru 6, Soleimani in 7 and Ryan in 8. It's heat 1, boys 400 metres. And they're away first time. Take a look at the yellow vest of Anthony Cox. He's got the rest of the field right over to his right-hand side. He'll have them in his sights. The Bahamian athlete has gone away well as well. That's Corey Sherrod. Look out for Gravach as well of the Czech Republic. It's a good contest down that back straight. Gravach now is moving past Corey Sherrod, who after a very fast start has started to fade. But here comes Anthony Cox of Jamaica, and Cox running on that inside, right in lane 1, has just glided through the field, and he's made this race his own. He's into the home straight with a big lead over Gravach of Slovakia, and it's all about Anthony Cox of Jamaica. A convincing victory for him, 46.55, a new personal best mark as he takes victory ahead of Slovakia's Gravach in heat 1 of the boys 400 metres, and that has shattered his previous best. And what a performance from Jamaica's Anthony Cox to take victory in that first heat. Super stuff from the Jamaican athlete.
Yeah, it was a brilliant run. You mentioned the psychological effect of breaking 47 seconds. Prior to the event, there were only 3 in the entire field who'd gone under 47 seconds for the one lap. Well, now Anthony Cox has joined them. Corey Sherrod was the early shower from Bahamas, but he went off too quick, and Gravach, the Slovakian, was able to reel him in and take second place. But Anthony Cox was very impressive. A big personal best, 46.53. Personal best also from Mohamed Ryan, who managed to get 3rd place. But, well, Corey Sherrod was the main shower initially in lane 5. You'll see him there in the pale blue vest on the shoulder of Boju of China. He went off really, really fast. Gravach managed to keep pace with him, but all the while Anthony Cox was running his own race. As you said, he had the advantage of seeing the whole race in his sights unfolding in front of him, and as soon as they came into the crown of the bend, he had asserted himself, and the lead just got bigger and bigger in the home straight. Gravach did well to produce 2nd place, and on the near side Ryan managed to get 3rd, but it was all about Anthony Cox. It was as good a race as I think you could hope from a kid of this age in the opening heat of a major championship. Very mature run from Anthony Cox.
Confirmation of the result of the boys 400 metres heat 1. Big new personal best for Anthony Cox, rounded down to 46.53 to take victory ahead of Gravach of Slovakia. The Bangladeshi Ryan is 3rd, and the 4th qualifier, the Sri Lankan athlete. Plenty for the Spanish officials to study, no doubt looking at some times and some performances, and there's a huge group of youngsters who've come in there. Local Kenyan youngsters watching on.
Yeah, it's fitting, isn't it, that so many youngsters looking on as the elite youngsters in world athletics entertain us in the sunshine in Nairobi. The runners are out for heat 2 of round 1 in the boys 400 meters. Elvin Josue Cañales of Honduras is one of them. Ethiopian Melkamu Asafa should be the favorite in this one. He's one of the three in the entire field who prior to this competition had gone under 47 seconds. 46.85 is his personal best, so he'll be a very, very strong contender. That's nearly 2 seconds quicker than Eric Layeng of Uganda, who you saw there in the yellow vest. Daniel Williams of Guyana has run a personal best of 48.24, but it should be all about Asafa in this heat. Anthony Cox has gone under 47 seconds in the first heat, so they'll be looking for good times here with this splendid new track, which is benefiting the athletes. A fast track in Nairobi. How fast can these guys go? Anthony Cox has set the marker 46.53 seconds in the opening heat with a big win. Personal best by a long distance. No Germans in this heat for those ladies to cheer on. And those of Ethiopia will be looking at Melkamu Asafa. Confirmation of the lineup. Look out for Asafa in lane 5. The rest of the field will do well to keep pace with him. And for a lot of them, it's about achieving personal aims rather than podium aims. And if you can come away from this tournament, regardless of where you finish in a race with a personal best, then that is an achievement fulfilled. So the second first round heat in the boys 400 meters. First 4 will qualify by rights. The next 4 fast losers will also go through. There's the main man in lane 5, wearing the green and yellow of Ethiopia, more renowned of course as a long distance nation with their great rivals Kenya, of course. That's going to be quite a battle in the days to come. Daniel Williams of Guyana in lane 2.
That's heat 205 for round 1 of the boys 400.
Hush from the crowd as the competitors prepare to get under starters order. Heat 2 of the first round of the boys 400 meters. Away they go then. Asafa in lane 5 will be looking to make a good start. He's just holding back a little bit at the moment. But, coming through in lane 4 is Rajan. But they're beginning to open out. This could be a good race. There's no clear leader at the moment as we come into the final 100 meters. Daniel Williams is going very well for Guyana in lane 2, and inside him there's a battle going on. This is a really good race, and Williams is continuing to look decent. Just inside him is Cañales, and then finally coming through is Asafa, who left it late, but he's going to win it. Williams got second, and I think it was the man over in lane 8, the Panamanian Antonio Grant, who just about got third place. Well, he didn't really figure for 3/4 of the race, and then suddenly he used his quality, his class and his pace to come through in the end. He looks pretty sweat-free, doesn't he? Nice and relaxed. I think that's probably the way he wanted to run it when he had a look at the start list in front of him. Daniel Williams ran a good race for Guyana as well. Confirmation Asefa was the winner in 47.23 seconds. Williams was second behind him, and it was Antonio Grant, the Panamanian, with a personal best. One of many personal bests in this race. Ironically, the man who won it didn't post his best ever time, but he posted a time good enough to win the race comfortably and edge out the rest of the field, but he left it late. But Melkamu Asefa, you can bet, will be among the podium contenders come the final, provided he stays healthy.
Yeah, I think there's probably a bit more to come from him, isn't there? He ran a very calm and composed race. He didn't panic at all. This was quite close to 300 metres. There wasn't a lot to choose between a number of the athletes out there. But he just timed it, and his last 100 metres was very strong. But look at where he is there as they come round the crown of the bend in towards the home straight. He has got a little bit of work to do, but you just sense looking at him, and you watch that stride and watch the composed head there, that he just felt he had more to give, although he's left it until the last 50 metres really before gliding through to take the victory. So timing, well, a bit of a gamble maybe, but in the end he had enough to come through and take victory.
Smiles from the Ethiopian contingent as their man runs a victory one lap to take him through into the next round of the boys 400 metres, which is the final event on the track on the opening session of day one of these championships. Athletes from all over the world enjoying the entertainment on this first morning. 9 sessions in all, concluding with Sunday's big day of finals. But we've had some excellent performances already today. Just a reminder, the 100 metres final coming up later, the 3,000 metres women's final, where we're expecting a Kenyan victory, and the final of the women's shot put. All to come as we reach the conclusion of the proceedings in the morning here.
It's been good to watch the French athletes in the decathlon this morning. Ethiopians as well to the fore in middle distance, as you would often expect to see.
Let's confirm the result of that last 400-metre hit. A disqualification for Eric Lang of Uganda. He'll be disappointed because he thought he'd run a personal best, but it's been scratched and he's out. Melkamu Asefa very much in, 47.23 seconds. That's well within what he's capable of. Daniel Williams did well for Guyana, personal best for him and personal best for everyone else in the field. So even if you're Jose Alvarez of Venezuela and you haven't got through, your career has received a huge boost in 2 ways. You've posted a personal best, and you've also just got the experience of what it's like to compete at this level.
Start list for the third heat, boys 400 metres. Includes one of the pre-event favourites, Musa Isa of Bahrain. Non-runner in lane 8 from Nigeria, so it'll be lanes 1 through to 7. Move down through the field via Damchenko of Ukraine there, the left-hand side of the picture. And the Argentine in lane 5, and then we find the tall figure, Tauta, Kelvin Tauta of Kenya. Big cheer, a home favourite. The Indian athlete Manish is there in lane 3.
Running on lane 2 in heat 3, representing
Fast
Bahrain,
runner
Musa
in lane 2
Issa.
is Musa Issa of Bahrain. The personal best sub-47-second runner, hasn't achieved that so far this year. He was a semi-finalist as a 15-year-old at the World Under-20s in Bydgoszcz a year ago. Big talent. There's Ruben Nichols of St. Lucia, will go in lane 1 on the inside. So this is the third heat of 5. First 4 in each heat will qualify. It's the next 4 fastest after that who get through to the semi-final stage of this competition. Nichols in lane 1, Issa lane 2, Manish lane 3, Tauta in lane 4, Lucia of Argentina 5, Niall of the Maldives in 6, and Demchenko lane 7. And they're away. Quick start made by the St. Lucian Nichols on the inside there. Look at them going down the back straight though, with a very strong performance from Laragina. It's gone very well down that back straight. Tauta trying to go well, and look out for the Bahrainian, who's just on the inside with the white vest and the red shorts. Demchenko has gone very quickly out in lane 7, and as they come into the home straight, the Maldives athlete as well, Niall is in there, and here comes the Kenyan Tauta towards the end as the man outside in Laragina, the Argentine, really tires. It's going to be a Kenyan victory, and who's going to get second and third? A fall in front of the line, 47-35. Tauta has taken it, but after running so well, Laragina of Argentina didn't get across the line. He just stumbled in the closing stages, so real drama for him. It allowed Tauta to come through. What a performance it had been for the Argentine for 390 meters at the 400. But in the end, it's the Kenyan Tauta who takes victory and will confirm those other positions, because there was a lot going on in those last few meters. But Issa was able to come through and get second with Demchenko in third. But that was a good race, and there was still so much to be decided as we went into the last 50 meters or so, and a devastating finish for the Argentine.
Yeah, it was an appalling finish for the Argentine. Laragina, who didn't finish, literally fell flat a meter from the line. And again, I think it emphasizes sometimes discretion is the better part of that. He went off really hard. You can see him there, third from the right in the blue, and he absolutely flew out of the blocks, but he hasn't timed his race well at all. And the likes of Issa and Tauta were far more cautious and circumspect. And you can see, look at the head movement there of Elian Laragina. He's all over the place. He's desperate to get to the line. Tauta senses that there's an opportunity to go through and win, which he takes. Issa is also there. But then Laragina, well, you feel so sorry for him. Look how short of the line he is. It's not even a meter as he crashes to the ground, not having finished the race. But the Kenyans are delighted. They've had a good morning today. They've seen some of their promising youngsters in events where they're not necessarily traditionally strong, but Kelvin Tauta has won that heat. Musa Issa will be expected to be one of the main contenders from Brunei, but it was a good run by the Kenyan, but a very, very sad end for Elian Laragina in a morning where we've had a few heartbreaks to add to all the enthusiasm and excitement.
If he just tumbled a meter later, he probably would have tumbled his way through to the semi-finals, because the first 4 in each heat qualified.
This is the fourth heat of round 1 in the boys 400 meters. Semi-finals are tomorrow, final on Friday. Competitors from Ukraine, China, Iran, Romania, Jamaica, Kenya, Namibia and Indonesia. Kenyan is David Sanayek, who's in lane 6. We're looking at Antonio Watson of Jamaica, and just the fact that he's got Jamaica in brackets next to his name suggests that he's going to be a medal contender. He's a 47.05 second man. Han Tao Deng of China will also be hoping to get into the first four, all of whom will qualify by rights for tomorrow's semi-finals. The Ukrainian on the inside is Yaroslav Holub, although with a personal best of 49.24, you wouldn't expect him to feature too highly in this penultimate heat. There is the Jamaican, Antonio Watson.
Confirmation of the result of Heat 3 of 5. Toyota of Kenya taking victory ahead of Isa and Demchenko. Ruben Nichols, the other qualifier.
And here are the men hoping to join them in that semi-final. Holub Deng, Dengani, Vlad, Watson, Sanayek, Geldenhuis and Nain. This is the full lineup. Watson in lane 5 will be looking to justify his favouritism in this one. Sanayek, representing the home nation, has run under 48, which is decent at this age group for the one-lap race. Anticipation amongst the crowd, the music still blaring out. That'll dissipate in a moment and we'll get the hush before the start. Nice view of the runners and riders front on. Lane 6. David Sanayek, 17-year-old, 47.55 seconds, the best he's ever run. They're emerging as a nation in these sprints. We know what they can do over the distances, and he'll be very, very aware that the man on his left shoulder is the favourite. Antonio Watson of Jamaica, still just 16 years old, 47.05 seconds, faster than anyone else in the field. They should, those two, in lanes 5 and 6, be the men to watch out for.
That's our lineup for the penultimate heat of the boys' 400 meters, round 1.
The calm before the storm. Prayers being offered by Degani of Iran as they get under starters orders for heat 4 of the first round of the boys' 400 meters. Away they go then. Watch out for the athletes in lane 5 and 6. The Jamaican in yellow and the Kenyan to his right-hand side. It's a good strong start by Antonio Watson, who's up on the shoulder a little bit now of Sanayek. Those two expected to be the front runners as we cross 200 meters. Watson and Sanayek. Sanayek is making his move now. There's also useful performance in lane 8 from Ashkay Nain, but here comes Watson and Sanayek. And outside Sanayek, it's Geldenhuis of Namibia. These three all very close. Watson looking to just get in front of Sanayek at the moment. Watson stretches his legs and goes for the line and wins it. Sanayek gets second place for the host nation, Kenya. And Ivan Geldenhuis of Namibia, another African, comes through in third place. 47.23 seconds for the winner, Antonio Watson. That's well within what he is capable of. He'll be looking to go faster as the rounds progress. It's been rounded down, in fact, to 47.22. Kenyan David Sanayek also through. And Geldenhuis ran well. It was those three really ahead of the rest of the field, and the Jamaicans have another man through in the 400 meters.
plenty for the Jamaicans to celebrate with that performance from Antonio Watson. And in fact, as they came round towards the conclusion of the race, after that start which saw the Kenyan and also the Namibian athlete going very well, Geldenhuis, and in that home straight, the eyes fixed on that front three, but of course they would all qualify, which made the race just going on behind them pretty significant as well for the fourth qualifier, and that is Deng of China. As you see Watson coming across the line, but then Deng is there and he just pips in front of Holub of Ukraine to take that fourth place.
Confirmation of it, a comfortable win for Antonio Watson, and the three leading men were virtually neck and neck with 100 metres to go. Watson had enough to just pull away from David Sanayek, who gave Kenya more joy on the opening day, and a great run by even Geldenhuis of Namibia, and as Tony was saying, Han Tao Deng just squeezing in for China. The next four fastest will also qualify, so we'll have to wait and see whether that particular heat was quick enough to yield another finalist.
Yeah. Four heats down, one to go in the boys' 400 metres. Look at the Zambian there, Kennedy Luchembe, who'll be in action in the fifth heat coming up shortly. The last track action of this first morning at these World Under-18 Championships. Terrell Sims of the Bahamas will be on the inside. We have 7 runners declared. Boys 400 metres, heat 5 of 5. Look out for Bruno Benedito da Silva of Brazil, who's inside the top 10 in the world this year. We'll take a journey from the outside in, stopping at lane 6 to take a look at the Zambian Kennedy Luchembe. Thumbs up to the cameras from the young Zambian. He'll be looking to improve on that mark of 47.72. Brief look at Camacho in lane 5 before we fix on the figure of Bruno Benedito da Silva, Brazil, the South American under-18 champion. A sub-47 second runner. The Ugandan Goni there. And there's the Bahamian Terrell Sims, who run on the inside, and will have a clear view of the field as he runs from lane 2. So they're called to their blocks for heat 5 of the boys 400 metres. It's the first round. From the inside, Sims in 2, Goni in 3, Da Silva 4, Camacho 5, Luchembe 6, Ulatitsi 7, and Jennings on the outside in lane 8 from the Turks and Caicos Islands. And that's a clean start for the 5th heat. And Da Silva has gone off really well, and is already outstripping the athlete on the outside of him. That was Luchembe. Also in the field we have Camacho of Venezuela, and on the inside the Ugandan Goni is going well in the yellow vest on the right-hand side of the picture. And look out for De Silva as they'll come in towards the home straight, rounding the bend and setting us up for the final 100 metres. And you can see it's the athletes from lane 4 outwards. Ulisitsi of Botswana also going well, and also Jennings. But as they come towards the line, this is going to be victory for the athlete in lane 6. It's Luchembe who takes it in 47.43. And Luchembe produced a really composed run there, the Zambian. And that's a big improvement on his best mark coming into this. The Zambian taking victory in heat 5 with 47.43, and that is a new personal best for Kennedy Luchembe of Zambia, in a race that really had a story to tell in the latter stages, the last 100 metres or so, as the likes of De Silva beaten into second place. And it was the Turks and Caicos Islands athlete Colby Jennings who produced a strong performance right on the outside to get third, as we take a look back.
Very quick start by Luchembe. He's up on the shoulder there, you can see already, of Ulisitsi of Botswana, and he was very much the main man at this point, but keeping pace with him inside Bruno da Silva of Brazil in the green in the centre of your picture there. And as they came into the final 100, it was going to be between those two, although Colby Jennings put in a good shift as well. But in the end, Luchembe, I don't think Da Silva was too concerned. He just looked across and said, well, OK, we're all going to get home safely enough. It was fairly well strung out in the end. So the first 4 were easy to identify, and Luchembe just holding off Da Silva. Colby Jennings clinging on to third place, and Ulisitsi of Botswana was 4th qualifier by rights.
Plenty of school children in this morning to watch this opening session of these World Under-18 Championships. And plenty of local Kenyan athletics fans in to see the action as well.
Well, it's been an excellent opening session to these final ever IAAF World Under-18 Championships. Kenyans have had plenty to celebrate. We've seen good performances from some of the main contenders. We've had the odd problem with injuries too, which is inevitable in any tournament competition. But overall, the home crowd, the home organisation and the home athletes have done us proud in Nairobi. It's been hugely enjoyable, and it is just an appetizer really, with so much still to come. The 100 metres final later tonight, 3,000 metres women, where Kenyans really will raise the roof if they get the result that they want in that one. And of course the women's shot put final as well. That's all to come.
Drums falling silent towards the end of this first session, but they will be back in action tonight. Dignitaries watching on this first session this morning as well.